Hello everyone, I'm Sales here. Nice to meet you here again. Today I would like to talk you with a very interesting car. Actually, before this video, I don't like car with this brand because I think such car is hard to maintain and it is costly. But when I got this car, I was shocked. Whoa, this car is very easy to drive and they got very good handling and they got very good at acceleration. Oh man, I changed my mind. Maybe I should take more effort with this brand. Okay, what kind of car we will talk with you? Let's talk about Volkswagen Passat. Why I got some depression with Volkswagen before? Because I have a factory. I know a factory which is fixed for the Volkswagen and Audi. When I went there, I always saw a lot of broken Volkswagen, Audi, and when I saw them, they got many problems. So I don't think I can afford to buy a Volkswagen or Audi. But well, I have to say, when I got this car, I changed my mind. Whoa, this car is very interesting. They got very good chassis and they got very good handling and they got very good accelerating. And actually, this car is not as expensive when I make a maintenance as I expected before. Whoa, that's very interesting. Okay, let's talk about this car. Let's talk about the story at final, and I will talk to you about the story of the Volkswagen Passat. The Passat it means a kind of wind. That's very interesting. And the very first generation Passat may be present in 1976 or 1978, I'm not sure. And we'll talk about that would be the B1 Volkswagen Passat. And later we got B2 Volkswagen Passat, and some of the market called it B2 Santana, such as South America or China mainland. And later we got Passat B3 presented in 1988, and later we got Passat B4 presented in 1993, and later we got Passat B5 presented in 1996. Now what do we see? This one is B5.5, and I have to say, this time Volkswagen got very honest. Oh, I'm so surprised, because actually the B3 and B4 Passat just got a minor change and the name got different. For example, B6 and B7 just minor change and they say it's B7. And I have to say, maybe B7 we got a different exterior and interior, but the chassis not changed so lot. But actually, when Volkswagen presented the B5.5 in 2000, and they say it is B5.5, it's just a minor change. Maybe it is big minor change, but it is minor change, so we call it B5.5. And there is another interesting thing is that according to the Passat family, from the B1 to B9, okay, only B5 is unique. Why? Because only B5 was designed by Audi. The B1, B2, B3, B4, B6, B7, B8, B9 are all designed by Volkswagen. Why this car designed by Audi? I have no idea, but I got evidence. Okay, let me show you. For example, the shape of the B5 got very interesting at the roofline and ABC pillar. This design brought by Audi designer, and you can see this design just the same as the Audi AVUS Quattro concept and VW Nardo concept. They got such the same shape of the roofline. That takes this car get very wide at the interior. People couldn't imagine how wide, how spacious at interior. Actually, this car got 1.55 meter at its tall. Okay, this car got such dimension, just the same as Toyota Wish, close to Toyota Wish, close to Honda Stream, close to Mini MPV. So they got very spacious at interior. That's very interesting. Another evidence is the engine. Let's take a look about the engine room. Okay. I have to say, the Passat is a front-wheel drive. Please remember it. I know that since B5 or B4 they got four-wheel drive, but actually the basic is a front-wheel drive car. But take a look about this engine room. Okay, this car is a B5.5 1.8 turbo. Do you have any idea about this engine room? Take a look. This inline 4 got straight. Okay, that is not designed for the FF. You see that? And when you see the Audi A4, no matter B5, B6 or B9, they got the same design. That's very interesting. It is an FF car, so they got some problem with the transmission box. So they have to put their engine in front of the front wheel. So there will be a problem that the weight is not balanced. This car couldn't be 50 and 50. No. I think this car got 60 to 40 or maybe 70 to 30. This car, this 1.8 is just 4-cylinder. If you bought a bigger, from for example 2.5 V5 or 2.6 V5 or 2.8 V6, the balance will be maybe 70-30. Not very good at not very good for handling, but this car got very good chassis. Okay, let's talk about the engine of the Volkswagen B5 Passat. B5 and the B4 are fully model change cars, so I don't think there's any parts the same with B4 except some engine. The entry-level engine for the B5 is 1.6, and later we got a 1.8 turbo, 2.3 VR5 and 2.8 V6 at very first. And the 1.6 engine, 1.6 and 2.8 are the same as the B4, but 1.8 turbo and the 2.3 V5 are brand new, especially the 1.8, because such 1.8 engine with 20 valves, yeah, they got 20 valves, and the 1.8 turbo is widely used at Volkswagen Group cars, such like Audi A4, Volkswagen Golf GTI, or even Audi A6, and they got a different output. The basic one is just like this one, 150 brake horsepower, and later we got 163 brake horsepower and 180 brake horsepower, such like Audi TT, and we got 193 brake horsepower, such like Audi B6 A4 DTM, and we got 1.8 turbo with 225 brake horsepower, such like Audi TT Quattro. But actually, the automated version is not those. The automated version brought by Attinger, they got B5 1.8 turbo with 400 brake horsepower. Whoa, that's very interesting. But of course, it is option car, it's not factory car. So if you want to upgrade this 1.8 150 brake horsepower, if you want to upgrade it, just take those version, and it's very easy. You can take Audi TT engine computer with some fix, and you can get 180 brake horsepower. Certainly, you have to enhance your chassis, your body, of course, because this car is not affordable. The basic 1.5 it's not affordable for 180 brake horsepower with its chassis parts. But actually, to be a family sedan, 1.8 turbo with 150 brake horsepower is very sufficient. Actually, it's very useful. And when I drive this car, I'm so shocked because I think the accelerate just the same as Camry's 3000cc. It's very easy to drive. I ever drove the Passat B4 borrowed from my bad friend. And Passat B4 is very hard to drive. That car, everything is very tough. It's very tough. For example, we got a very tough when I hit the accelerator pedal. It got very tough when I take the automatic shift. It's very tough when I turn around the handler. Oh, that's very hard to drive. But when I drive this Passat B5.5, I'm so shocked because it is very easy, very soft. If you can drive a Toyota Camry, you can drive Passat B5.5 very easily. There won't be any problem. It's just driving as easy as a Japanese car. I'm so surprised. And the oil consumption is very good. This car is 20-year-old now. It got 290,000 kilos. But I can drive it at high speed 1 liter for 13 kilos. And when I at the normal road, I can drive 1 kilo with 8 to 7 kilos. That's the same as the Toyota Camry, the 20-year-old Toyota Camry. I'm so surprised. And it got a 5-speed automatic transmission with Tiptronic. This transmission is very smart. When you hit the gasoline pedal hard, it can kick down or double kick down. I like this transmission box. And actually, the Taiwan version got a little bit different from the European version, the same as the Asia version. According to the data comes from Volkswagen, they said if you bought the 2.8 V6 version, you also get the sporty body, but not for Asia, because the European model for 2.8 V6 model, they just get 5-speed manual transmission. But you can buy the 5-speed automatic transmission with Tiptronic here in Taiwan and in China mainland and in Southeast Asia and in Japan. That's the special version for Asia market, but not the same as the sport version. That's that's a kind of pity, I have to say. Okay, B5 Passat was presented in October 1996 Paris Motor Show. The exterior and the interior are totally different from Passat B4. It is 100% full model change. And before B5, we won't think the Passat is a luxury car. But when we see the interior and the exterior of the B5, we are shocked because it is very gorgeous. For example, before Passat B5, there's no chrome front grille. No, there's no. And there's no chrome body window frame. No, there's no. And at very first, when the B5 presented in 1996, we got red tail lamps. That's very interesting design. And when we got to the minor change in October 2000, the B5.5 got another gorgeous tail lamp design. I like this tail lamp, especially when we take the light on at evening. That's very, very gorgeous, I have to say. We got the B5.5 got a different front and the rear, but the center got the same. And the interior got a little bit change from B5, such like we got a chromed tachometer and the speedometer, and we got a new version of the cup holder, but it is very easy to broken, such like this one. It is broken now. And we got air curtain at B5.5. The others just maintain the same as the B5, I think. And there's another change for the engine. At B5.5, there's no 1.8 engine. No, it was dropped and it changed by 2.0. And the 2.3 VR5 got 170 brake horsepower. Before minor change, it would be 150 brake horsepower. The other got maybe the 1.6 entry level got 2 brake horsepower power up. The other are the same. Okay, maybe there's some change about the diesel engine, but I don't know the detail because there's no diesel engine B5 Passat or B5.5 Passat sold in Taiwan, so I have no idea about the diesel engine. And the Taiwan Passat was presented in 1997, and at very first we got the 1.5 no turbo, and later we got 1.8 turbo engine. Such engine is very identical for here in Taiwan because we got we have to pay the tax every year, and the tax level got this got a correspond with the capacity of the engine. We got a 600 cc for one level. The 1.8 turbo engine, it just less than 1,800 cc. So we just have to pay the tax the same as 1.2 engine. So it is very cheap. And they got 150 brake horsepower. It's just the same the 2.0 Japanese cars. But we got cheaper at tax. So this car got very popular. And people would like to buy such Volkswagen because it is made in German. But you just pay the same as the price for the Camry 2.0 and you can buy a German cars. So people, so such B5 or B5.5 got very good, very popular here in Taiwan because this car is got very high cost per value. Okay, and later the Taiwan Volkswagen got import the 2.3 V5 and 2.8 V6, but people wouldn't like to buy those cars because they are too expensive, especially the 2.8 V6. As I know, it was sold around 1.66 million Taiwan dollars. That's very expensive. People would think, whoa, why I have to spend so lot of money to buy a Volkswagen? I can buy a I can buy an Audi. So that's very rare. You couldn't see those cars here in Taiwan now. And when we present the B5.5, we got W8 as well. And W8 was sold with 2.2 million Taiwan dollars. That's very expensive and very, very rare. I ever saw 1 or 2 W8 here in Taiwan, but I don't know if there is any left because the W8 B5.5 got 4,000 cc. That will be costly when we pay the tax every year. And such car got full equipment, but they got some problem with the engine room because here in Taiwan it is very hot. And such when we see this engine room with 1.8 4-cylinder, almost full of the engine room. And if you purchase the 2.3 V5 or 2.8 V6 engine, they are full of the engine room. And if you bought the W8, they are overloaded. So it is very hard to take the temperature drop, especially at summer. So such car is not very popular here in Taiwan. People would like to buy 1.8 turbo because we got a very good at the tax. And such B5 got some interesting design at exterior and interior. Let me show you. At very first, you can take a look about the back mirror. When they got the minor change in 2000, we got ignition lamp right here. It's very important because there are many motorcycles here in Taiwan. So when you get a corner, when you want to turn, you have to warning those motorcycles. So this design is very good for the minor change. And what else is for the antenna? Such antenna is easy to broken. And when you go to the washing machine, you have to take off by your hands. That's not very good, I have to say. And we have very big at the trunk. Let's take a look about the trunk. Okay, you can see the trunk is wide and the trunk is very big. I like this one. And well, I have to say this is for the first aid kit right here. We should put this one inside here, but actually this is not a correct engine. I always recommend, if you drive the Volkswagen, please drop this one because you won't use this one anymore. But you have to store something right here. What is that? That will be engine oil, because this car is very easy to lose the engine oil and you have to refuel it. So please take some engine oil at your trunk if you want to drive Volkswagen or Audi. That's for the standard. No wonder they have to get such spacious trunk. That's for store some engine oil, I think. Okay, that's a kind of joke. And this one is minor change for the Passat B5. So we got the brand new headlamp, but it is very easy to broken. And this car was stored in the garage for 20 years. So they got a almost brand new headlamps. And you can option for the HID. If you got a HID, they will be a little bit different shape from this one. This one just project headlamp, but there's no HID. That's a pity, I have to say. And after minor change, we got a standard for the chrome front grille. If you don't buy the B5.5, there's only 2.8 V6 engine with B5 got chrome front grille. The biggest progress for the B4 to B5 is the interior. Before the Passat B5, it's hard to say the Passat is a luxury car. But when you see the interior of the B5, you can say, it is a kind of luxury car. There are 4 levels for the interior about Passat B5. That would be base, comfort line, trend line, and high line. If you buy the trend line or high line, you can see the woody trim at the doorknob at the center console. And this car is 1.8 Taiwan version, but the equipment is just close to the top of the high line. For example, we got sport 3-spoke sport handler. It is the same as the Golf GTI Mark IV. I like this handler very well. I think it's very sporty. And we got the woody trim at center console with very good effort of the air condition. I would say air conditioner, it's very hard here in Taiwan, but this air conditioner is very suitable for Taiwan. Oh, I have to say this one is very great. And we got a very great audio system. Certainly this one is not original, but the speaker is very well. If you have to upgrade that. The original speaker is very good. And we got 5-speed automatic transmission with Tiptronic. But actually, when you buy the B5 with 1996 or 1997, there is no Tiptronic, just normal 5-speed automatic transmission. And I like this Tiptronic because it is very smart. I can drive it just the same as the manual transmission, but without the clutch, I can drive it very easily, very smoothly. And if I want to immediately accelerate, it can help me a lot. I like this transmission box. And of course, we got a very easy broken cup holder as well, but we have another cup holder right here, but that is a pity, is there's no cup holder at back seat. Well, that's not a very well, I have to say, but we have a very good at headroom. Take a look. I am 1.8 meter at tall, and I have to say there's no problem for me to sit inside. I never saw any sedan got such special headroom at front seat, no matter the back seat. Let's take a look about the back seat. Okay, there is an interesting design for the upper window. So when you sit in the back seat, you will think it is very bright. The brightness is very well, I have to say. Okay, the door of the back seat got very easy to entry, and I have to say it's special. The front seat it got top end, and I still got some leg room for me when I sit in. And of course, the best way for the best one for the back seat is my headroom. You can see that's very spacious. And if even we set for 3 adults at the back seat, that's not a problem. That's not very crowded as maybe Toyota Camry or Nissan Altima. I would say this car is very special. Just the same, close to the mini MPV, I have to say. And we got a center armrest, and we got a little bit of box for something you can store right here. But there's no any cup holder. I don't think why. I have no idea. And you can see there is a 12V power out, and here is for the cigarette ashtray. But there's no cup holder. I don't know why, but I think it is very great when you sit at the back seat. You can see there's a very big window, and even there is an upper window as well, and you got a spacious at the headroom. I like to see the back seat of this car. I like this one. Yep. So this car got many interesting parts, interesting design, but especially the space at the interior. That's a pity. There's a pity that when you take the Passat B6, I'm sorry, it is a normal sedan. There's not the same as special as B5 did. That's a pity, I have to say. Okay, the Passat B5 is very hard to see right now here in Taiwan because this car is old, I have to say. Even the B6 is very hard to see at the road. But when I drive this car, I was so shocked because this car is very easy to drive. And actually the parts may be a little bit expensive. I think it's well worth, because this car got very good at handling, and very interesting when you want to take a little bit at the mountain. That would be very interesting. And if you want to take a joyride at long distance, you won't feel any tired. I think this car got very identical. Well, maybe they got some little bit problem with this car, but I think this car is very worth if you want to play it. And it's very cheap. Actually, there's no people would like to buy such $3 sedan. Many people would like to buy the $2 Volkswagen Golf, or even smaller Volkswagen Polo. There's not many people would like to buy such Passat. But I think this one is very good to use if you want to take your family, you will take your bad friends to take a joyride. This car is very identical. And I have to thank for my bad friend because he gave me this car without any cost. So I take this one. I took this car and I got refreshed for my image for the Volkswagen. Maybe in the future I can buy some Volkswagen or Audi, and I have to say, no wonder the Volkswagen could be the top seller before, because this car got very good design, got very interesting when you're driving. I have to say, Volkswagen, you got it. Okay. How do you think about Volkswagen or Volkswagen Passat? Please show me your comment. Thanks for your watching. I hope I can take some other interesting car with next time. See you again. I'm Celsius. Bye bye.